So you want to get an idea on what to bring and how to get ready for the Hoenn Tour in Las Vegas. Well, you came into the right place. I'm Alex Gum, aka Cheeklay, and welcome to Pokemon Go Ahead. So before we talk about today's video, just want to let you guys know that Saturday is completely sold out. So if you want to play the Hoenn Tour, you're going to want to buy a ticket for Sunday, February 19th. If you were originally thinking about going on Saturday, unfortunately it's sold out and everyone does not get a refund. So you're going to have to plan to go on Sunday. Another thing that I should mention is that we are going to have more news and details about the Hoenn Tour in Las Vegas, and maybe a little bit more with the global event the weekend after. So we're gonna get some more details as it comes around, but we're gonna do like a big full review on Saturday, February 11th, just the week before the events, so you can get an idea on what you are expecting when you're about to go to Las Vegas for the Hoenn Tour event. And also, one more thing before we continue with today's video, be sure to subscribe to Cheeklay Productions for more content. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when another video comes out. And let me know in the comments below, are you going to go to Las Vegas for the Hoenn Tour? Can't wait to see you guys there. I'm excited. This is my first ever in-person event. This is going to be very, very fun. So with that being said, guys, let's just go over everything that you should bring, things you need in your Pokemon Go app, and some tips on how to prepare yourself before and during the Hoenn Tour. I want to talk about some things that you need in your app, the Pokemon Go app. The biggest thing is making sure you have enough storage space for both your Pokemon storage and your item storage. I would personally recommend, if you have enough storage, to clear out everything so you have approximately 500 or more space, so then that way you have enough space to spin Pokestops and get a bunch of items, and of course you're going to be catching a lot of Pokemon, so all those community day shinies or any other Pokemon from events that you just don't need in your storage, I would just do a big mass transfer and just clear that out. Also, I would just limit the amount of potions that you have, disregard of you doing raids because you have a bunch of people out, so maybe you need at least like 100 revives and 100 hyper potions or like 50 max potions. So set a limit on how many that you should carry instead of having like 3,000, because it's going to take up all your space. Also, what's going to take up your space are going to be Pokeballs. Now, of course, it is important to have a bunch of Pokeballs for an event like this. I would recommend at least 1,000 plus Pokeballs, especially if you have a Go Catcher, and we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. Also, it's recommended to have a bunch of Ultra Balls, like at least 500 to 1,000, because then that way you can catch those rare Pokemon or shiny. So it's very important that you have every single Pokeball. With the Great Balls, I would say 500. I would use those just in case a Pokeball is not effective, and I wouldn't waste a bunch of Ultra Balls. But Great Balls is good to have. I would say 500 for Great Balls, personally. Now we need to talk about berries, because berries will have a huge effect when it comes to catching Pokemon. Pineapple berries are going to give you extra candy. Then Nat berries are going to make sure that that Pokemon doesn't attack or move. And then you also have a raspberry that gives you that increased chance of catching that Pokemon. Golden Raz and Silver Pineapple berries are also going to be more effective when it comes to giving extra candy and like guarantee to catch it. When it comes to incense, one of the bonuses for the event, if you have bought a ticket, is that it's going to be a 90-minute duration for the incense. So if you do the math, it's an 8-hour event. So approximately 6 incense would be very good. You are welcome to drop more than just 6 incense, so you can have those extra 90-minute laps just to get those incense spawns if you're going around Las Vegas. But I recommend at least 6 if you're doing one day and 12 if you're doing both Saturday and Sunday. For lucky eggs, XP is going to be very important. You're going to be catching Pokemon. You're going to be having those XP bonuses when you're hatching eggs and doing raids, especially if you have those add-ons like the Raid Lover and the Enthusiast. So it's important that you have XP. I recommend dropping 16 on the 8-hour period of the first event. I would have 32 if you're playing both games, the both days, Saturday and Sunday, because it's an 8-hour event. It lasts for a half hour, so make sure you have that. Same thing applies for starred pieces, but for Stardust. Again, 16 on one day and 32 if you're playing both days. Next up, we have incubators and super incubators. I would recommend going after super incubators because then that way you're walking less. It's less of a requirement of how much kilometers you're walking. For example, there are 10-kilometer eggs during the Hoenn Tour event that will have Tropius, Torkoal, and Relicanth. They're all regionals and they all can be shiny. So if you have those 10-kilometer eggs and you have the half distance, you're going to at least just have like 3.3 kilometers if you have a super incubator. But if you decided to add the add-on, which is the Ichthyosis, it's going to be a fourth hatch distance. So with the super incubator, it's literally 1.67 kilometers for hatching a 10-kilometer egg. And then you can kind of get an idea on the lower amount of kilometers required for 5-kilometer eggs and 2-kilometer eggs. So I'm personally going to be getting a ton of super incubators. If you guys want to just use a regular incubator, that's totally fine. But having a super incubator is just going to be more effective. And then finally, it is very important that you guys have some premium raid passes. Now, I would say remote raid passes, but you guys are there in person. Don't waste on a remote raid pass. Now, if you guys are not in Las Vegas, you guys should have remote raid passes because you'll never know if a friend in Las Vegas is going to invite you to a Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre raid, or any other raids during the Las Vegas event. So I would say personally, just invest on the premier raid passes. Now do note that if you are going to be in the event, you are guaranteed 9 free raid passes. But if you just got the add-on, which is the Raid Lover, you're going to get 18 free raid passes. So that means you're going to raid a lot and save. But if you did not get the Raid Lover, it's important that if you have premium raid passes, use those in good use. I still have like 30-something in my bag, and I have not ever used one in a while. So I would just burn those up if I were you. I decided that I'm not going to buy the Raid Lover personally, because the bonuses are just exclusive for the 5-star raids and not the primal raids that I'm going to be grinding for the most. Now, we need to talk about some things that you should be packing if you're going to be going to the park and play Pokemon Go. Some things you're going to need some power banks, some things to charge up your phone. Obviously, you need a cord because you need to charge up your phone or plug it into something that gives you battery. You can't play Pokemon Go on an empty battery, so you need at least like a couple battery packs to last you 8 hours. Another thing, you should have a Go Plus or a Go Catcher or anything that helps you catch Pokemon, because there's going to be so much happening in in-person events, you can't just be on your screen and catch Pokemon all the time. So when you're hatching an egg or doing a raid boss, or if you're meeting up with some friends, or if anything happens in the park, you still have your Go Plus on, you can just start catching Pokemon, especially if you're lucky, some shinies. Also, it's very important to bring a water bottle. You need to be hydrated for the entire day. It's in Las Vegas, people, so it is important to be hydrated. I recommend just like bringing your own water bottle and just fill it up instead of buying like a regular water bottle. Somebody told me that water bottles are like $6, and you don't want to spend that much on a water bottle. Bring your own. So then that way you can just fill up with water and you just, you're good. Also, it's in Las Vegas. I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit warm and sunny. So I recommend bringing a hat, maybe sunglasses, and probably some sunscreen so you don't burn your face. I mean, it's not the summertime, but it's in Las Vegas, so you never know. Also, just dress up properly for the weather, and just make sure you have like an umbrella, like a little portable umbrella just in case, because you never know if it's going to rain. It does rain in Vegas. Trust me, I've been there when it rained. And then finally, bring some snacks and something to eat, like a sandwich or some lunch, so then that way you have some food and fuel throughout the day. You don't need to like sit down, but just kind of nibble on some things, like maybe trail mix, maybe some crackers, maybe some fruit or something, and that way you guys are good to go. Now, when it comes to packing things when you're traveling, first and foremost, you guys need to make sure that you have your plane tickets and your hotel reservations. If you're watching this right now and you bought a ticket for the event and you didn't do a reservation for a hotel or a plane, it's going to be expensive, and it's also going to be difficult because not only it's a big event, it is on President's Day weekend. So chances of having a room last second or a flight last second is not going to be easy at all. But if you do have a plane ticket and a hotel reservation, it is important to pack the following things. Obviously, clothing and pajamas. And then, of course, you have toiletries, your toothbrush, toothpaste, your showering stuff. you know, your hairbrush, anything that you need for good hygiene, your deodorant, the obvious stuff. And then of course bring a phone charger because of course you need your phone, duh. And then cash. I would recommend cash because you just never know what you're going to spend on that doesn't require a card. And then I just wrote a personal list for myself for other things I need to bring, like a laptop and camera, because I'm going to be editing when I'm going to be in Las Vegas. And then of course another thing that I'm going to be bringing is a friend. Of course Chris is going to come along, but I also brought another friend with me, and that's Trico. I'm so excited to bring him to the Hoenn tour. Now I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, but also let me know in the comments below if there's anything else that I missed out on, or if you guys have some other tips when it comes to going to an in-person event. Like I said, I've never been to a Safari Zone in person or an in-person Go Fest, but this will be my first ever in-person event, and the Hoenn tour is going to be so different because it's just going to be amazing. We're going to catch shinies and everything. And again, we're going to go over everything and review the event itself with bonuses, spawns, and everything on February 11th. So stay tuned for that. That is it for me. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.